never, I don't know, many players from that era, to be honest.
I pulled one of his cards the other day.
You should brush it.
There he is.
Luke, you're running the fake Corey Norman there with the Canucks.
Corey Norman's running the fake Luke, mate. We're recording here, boys. I thought I'd jump in early with the record.
See Alex Glenn's rocking the thing yesterday too.
I saw your comment as well. First the blonde, the rest, man.
Right, I got a Mighty Ducks one. I've actually got Charlie Conway. I got a Mighty Ducks.
Yeah. I got the home and away Canucks. I love it. 6th of May today, boys. Here we are on the show and go. Bit of a big sale last night, Ice. How did it all go down?
Yeah, good. Obviously, we had some limited numbers on Monday, and those flew in 7 minutes. So decided to do a pre-sale, which a lot of people don't know what a pre-sale is, but it means they're going to get in about 2-3 weeks. So
surely people know what a pre-sale is.
You're going to check my DMs the next six days, and
hey, bro,
have you shipped that stuff out yet? I'm like, no, but
I paid for Express though. You're like, for fuck's sake.
Can't you just remove that, the expressing, or it's just too much logistics?
Oh, it's just too much from the back end. Then you have to go through the operational side. It's probably just not even worth it. But I don't think people are listening anyway.
Yeah, you cop yourself a doozy hoodie yet, Jackson, or?
No, I've been pretty tight with my pennies while we're sort of navigating this whole.
Yeah,
and it's not for the business. If we're not buying kit, I'm not buying anything, to be honest. So sorry, I'm not supporting the boys, mate. But I'll be back.
Mate.
I'll be back around it soon.
I
did want one of those fucking hoods, to be honest. But
yeah, that blue was a mad color, Ice?
Yeah, the blue was cool. I was just about to say that was fucking that pop, man.
I think it just rolled with the other colors as well. Like we were thinking of a few different other colors, and as soon as
mine got shut down straight away. Sent the tan one through. No.
Yeah. He goes, "Oh, let's do this one." Oh, fuck no.
Mate, it takes a lot of courage for him to come out with a bit of design input like that, and you just squash the kid's dreams.
He puts out plenty of ideas, mate. I listen to a lot of them.
A sounding board. Well, we all tuned in on Monday night for The Last Dance. I think it was the two best episodes yet in terms of getting all footage that you probably haven't seen before. Episode 5 was a lot of the Dream Team stuff, and then episode 6 is sort of the story of Jordan. It starts out with that quote of him sitting there repeating himself, saying you don't want to be Jordan for a day. You couldn't figure out, or a week or a year. You need longer than that. And I know it was cool. It sort of started with Kobe. And Ice, you just got a Kobe poster for The Office, so how good's that?
Yeah. No, I loved that. I loved the last 2 episodes. It was kind of like the first week was all excitement, and then the second week was not as exciting, but now you're kind of just into this little rhythm of what you actually want to watch. And fuck, it doesn't take much to get going, does it? You think of someone that's like one of the biggest sports stars in the world, and like if you're at the top, a lot of the times they'll just go, "Oh, let them come to me," and if they come, they come. But he could find any way to make something personal and like the Tony Kukoc when the Dream Team went over.
Yeah. This poor dude,
poor
lanky.
That's my Croatian brother as well. Just killing the
Croatian.
Yeah.
So the poor dude, man, left-handed Magic Johnson just copped the hammering, and like before the and I love hearing all that sort of stuff behind the scenes, like where Michael goes, "Nah, leave him for me and Scotty. Like we've got him. Like we've got a point to prove." And that sort of stuff happens in football as well. Like especially around props and that. Like say there's a big Clemmer and he's on the other side, and go, "No, that's your job. And if I see anyone else, if you're not making first contact on Clemmer, I'm gonna be fucking that off you." And like that sort of element goes into behind the game, and it's great to see it sort of at that high level and sort of back in that day. And also it's just the gambling mentality, man. I fucking love it, eh? Sitting at the back of the bus, the boys are up the front playing for $1, and he just rolls up there. He goes, "What he's playing? What he's playing?" He goes, "Why would you want to play with us?" He goes, "Because I want your money in my pocket."
And pretty much that was unreal.
And I was like, I'm just sitting there going, "Fuck, you're cool, straight line cards."
A bit salty, Jackson, on the MJ, on the mentality, huh?
What, me?
Yeah, what'd you just say?
Oh, no, he killed my boy Kukoc, man.
Yeah.
Kukoc is our Croatian. He's our hero.
You see the throwback
of him. To Luka now, even though he's not Croatian. But
yeah. Well, there's that footage of Kukoc in the doco where he's walking through Croatia, and he's got like the Jordan kit on as well. And then when Jordan's putting the Jordan 1 Chicago's on, it's Kukoc that actually comes over and go, "Oh, I used to have those shoes as a kid."
Yeah, like it still kills him, man.
Still kills him. But what do you think of it all, man?
Yeah, no, it was cool. That was obviously every time the motherland gets a mention, I'm all about it. It's like every time the Warriors get a mention, I get hyped. But if it's the Croatian national team, I fucking jump. I do flips. So that was cool. No, it was awesome, man. I think the Kobe stuff, obviously, maybe it was hyped up a little bit. It kind of was quite like a small part of the doco. I'm sure there's going to be more rolling forward. I don't know how extensive their interview with Kobe was, so it'll be interesting to see that. But no, it was cool. I mean, I'm now, like, I was a bit critical of, you know, how the timeline, they're kind of going through the 98 season, then jumping back for context. That was kind of, maybe I wasn't focusing. That was kind of fucking me up a little bit. But now I'm into, like you say, into a bit of a rhythm of it.
You sort of expecting
kind of makes
it too.
you're expecting it. Now it kind of makes Mondays sort of worth fucking living for now. I'm excited.
What about all the Jordan Rule stuff as well? The book comes
Yeah,
out.
the old journo, the poor journo getting killed, man. But what about I wanted to talk to you, Ice, about like the media side of it when you can just see it fucking draining him. Obviously, we have nothing down this part of the world like to that level, but how draining is it, like, just getting asked the same fucking questions over and over again like that? Especially, I know, like, if we want to use a footy sort of analogy, listening to Matt Duffy on Shandor's podcast, he debuted when all the salary cap stuff hit. That was his debut week.
Yeah.
You know, that iconic shot of them all walking out? That was his debut game, playing the Warriors. He was trying to, you know, prepare to come up against Manu Vatuvai, and he's dealing with that. But he just talks about how, like, watching such a, like, strong, united team just deal with the same shit every week, day in, day out, journos following cards, all that sort of shit. And then MJ's like that on fucking steroids. So,
scale, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to know what, like, you sort of thought of that side of thing.
Oh, it's just what the media does, doesn't it? There's like, and that was probably the first massive example of like someone at the top of their game. Fuck, let's find a way to chop him down. Let's dive into his personal life. Let's do this. Like, oh, he was out at Atlantic City till 1 a.m. Like, there's players that can actually go out the night before and still turn it. Like Kevin Locke would have done that a few times back in the day.
A few times, yeah.
he like Kevin Locke could go out the night before a game, come up to the game and fucking score 2 tries, and a couple of them would be fucking 200-meter fucking dashes. So, so like that's the thing when media starts to get involved, and that's the thing when people start to get involved, and it sort of just evolved from like just certain amounts of people that are in a media scrum into like the whole world is a media. So you think of social media, everyone's got a media platform now, or they think they've got a voice and they think their voice matters. And then when those little voices, when they trip up and they come in numbers, it starts to carry some weight behind it. So like, what's he doing out? Like, what's he doing at Bondi Beach on a Wednesday when he just lost on a Sunday? So
what's he doing at Harpoon Harry's?
Yeah, did he breathe too many times in that minute? They just lost in the weekend. Like, fuck, who gives a fuck what they do during the week as long as they turn up and perform. And they sort of ignited that fire with him, and he just could have come back and killed him. So, yeah, some people can do it, some can't. And that's the other side of the coin as well. So,
I thought it was interesting to see like how even a guy who we sort of hold up on this amazing pedestal. I mean, obviously he's the greatest, one of the greatest athletes of all time. But like, it even wore him down, and you kind of think if it can wear him down, what's it going to do to, you know, your Kevin Locks of the world, or people that probably aren't maybe as mentally strong dealing with that sort of shit? Like, fuck, man, it makes you like as a reporter, it kind of makes you step back a little bit, because there's a lot of times when a big story pops, whether it's, you know, Nathan Cleary recently, just because that's off the top of my head or whatever, and you go gun-ho to fucking get it, and it's like and it's like it's now kind of hopefully going to make people sort of pause a little bit and just take note of kind of what these guys are dealing with. I hope so. I'm saying that now, but I'll be calling Cleary after this.
No. Do you know what they do? Everyone just salary compares. So what they do is like, oh, I'm on $60,000. So if he's on $600,000, he should be held like 10 times more accountable to me. And there's always going to be that argument. And I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. So I think the players are just going to have to deal with it some way, shape or form.
Yeah, well, moving on, guys. We've got the footage of all the boys going back to training officially. The pay deal's been struck where it's 80% of the salary for the 2020 season. You've got some mail on all the new regulations for the boys, Ice. And
Ice.
Journo, he's put the Journo hat on.
I put up the breaking news tag.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, let me paint the picture for you. So it was about 1 o'clock Monday afternoon. What's that, yesterday? No, what's today, Wednesday? It was 1 o'clock afternoon, just got like Corey rang me like 3 times. And I was like, oh, what's going on? And like, it's the third time I answered. Beauty. I thought, what's going on? He goes, fuck. He goes, I'll see you in about 4 or 5 months, man. Like, what do you mean? They're literally not allowed to do anything. So it's literally go home, go to training. They're not even allowed to go out for coffees. Like, you know how we're allowed to go out for coffees and stuff now and grab a coffee and walk home? They're not allowed to be doing that. If they've got a partner or a flatmate, those people have to be going out and going to do going to get groceries and just to do everything. So it's pretty much go to training, come home. Once they go to training, sometimes they're in separate changing rooms as well. So they'll be like Grips and I in this change room, Grips and I's in this change room. And I was talking to a few of the Rabbitoh boys as well. They're saying like, oh, they'll train like, so an out, like they'll be in 3 blocks. So one will be in physio or rehab. The middle block will be in weights and the other one will be in field. So they're in for a pretty strict, be like being in level 4 with the option of going to training every day. Corey lives in Cronulla, so Wollongong's roughly about 45 minutes away. They're not allowed to travel in cars and stuff like that. They're not allowed to do contact. So,
What do you mean traveling cars? Like,
sorry, travel
together.
they're like a dragon bus. They're not allowed to travel together,
right?
which is like
No
weird because obviously when they go to a game, they're all going to be in the bus together anyway. So and like they're sitting in the same changing room together. I don't see what sitting in the car is going to do. So
Yeah, you said you spoke to some Rabbitohs boys. This is Lukey Journo now. A few of them got tested on Monday night. What was all that commotion all about? Did someone just sneeze in training, or what's the go?
Pretty much, exactly that. So one of the boys rocked up and sneezed, and doctors go, whoa.
Hey.
And he goes, nah, I'm sweet. I've just got a bit of a sniffle. And the doctor's, nah, go get a test. And that's the full fucking...
Yeah, up the hooter.
Up the nose, man. And they said it's sore too, so... That made me want to stay clear of a few blokes, man. Like, I hate shit like that.
You see Rogan's testing everyone? Joe, just sort of off topic, but Joe Rogan's testing everyone that's coming in on the potty?
Yeah, because then, like, bro, you got to think he's got 3-4 million people watching him every single day. So it's just ticking the box for him.
You know what's ridiculous about that? He got a bunch of hate for people like, you're taking tests away from people that actually need it. And he's like, I'm not taking shit away from anyone. I've just got a guy here testing me. It's like, it's a couple of $100 if you want to get it done. Like, get it done. Everyone's like, well, not everyone can afford that. And he's like, how's that my fault?
Yeah, bro, it is what it, fuck. It's just going to get worse, man. By the time we die and by the time our time's up in life, man, the world's just going to be, you won't be allowed to say anything. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's going to be a weird time moving forward and probably live in the right period.
I saw footage last night. I think it was the Melbourne Storm IGT video. They're all getting off the bus. They're like talking to them from like 5 meters away. I asked them, have you done this? Have you done that? Then they're getting temperature tested on the forehead. Like,
I think that's a standard every day. So every day they have to go and get temperature checked. So on Saturday, Corey, on Friday, the boys don't have training down at Dragons, but Corey has to drive down, get a temperature test, and then sort of drive home.
Surely put scope on the temperature test.
Scope on a Sunday watching the races, he'd be through the roof, man. It's gonna be a weird time. Like, obviously, I get it. You would rather them take every single precaution. Just so all they're doing is crossing their T's and dotting their I's. They're saying it's for player welfare. You know, we hope that is the case. But let's be honest, they're avoiding any sort of potential lawsuits or any sort of trouble they could get in if someone gets crook and they haven't taken every precaution. So they'll test them every time they get out of the shitter. Like, they'll do this as much as they can for as long as they can, as long as the boys abide by it. But I'm way more optimistic than I was a little while ago. First of all, I said May 28th wasn't a chance. So there's your journo headline that we won't bring back up. I said it wasn't a chance. I wrote about it. I said we're not
cuts it in here.
Yeah, I said we're not absolutely no shot of doing that, and we are. So who knows what the fuck I know? But the idea of these pods of training is going to be interesting to see how that affects games. So like Ice was saying, they're going to rotate between field, weights, whiteboard, all that sort of stuff, because you can't be in groups greater than 10. So there'll be 9 players, and you'd assume a coach or an assistant coach or something, sort of running the drills. So
when are they going to do captains running it?
Well, they're not. They're not. I so they're just going to do it in like blocks, I suppose. So you'll get your four right hand edge players up against your 4 left hand edge players, which I assume you do a lot of anyway.
Yeah, edge on edge.
Edge on edge. You have an assistant coach there.
You usually drag a middle around because you play off for 50 and you need a dummy half to pass you the ball.
Well, the assistant coach is going to be Stacey Jones down there throwing a few cutouts. So, it's going to be interesting to see how it affects the actual game. Look, let's be honest. I'd assume the product is going to be very much like a week 1 product when we get it back. It's going to be rusty. Like
it's going to be week -3 product. That's what it's going to be.
Pre-season and fucking Rotorua. Like, you're going to get some real sort of scrappy football, but they'll bounce back, man. We'll be away.
They should bump up the subs, like, so it's pretty much like trial games.
Yeah, why not? Get a few of these 18-year-old boys having a run. There's a few 18-year-old players that have gone over in the Warriors wider squad as well, like Rocco Berry and that they're probably a chance of getting a run at some stage this year.
Well, have I lost you, boys? What's doing?
A bunch of protocols in place, but essentially what it is Oh, you there? Sorry, bro.
Yeah, I lost you for it stopped it when I said 100.
Oh, okay. No, he was just saying then what happens if a player gets coronavirus. So my understanding is there's a bunch of different sort of, what do they call them? Safety measures in
Protocols.
place. So protocols in place. So it's like, okay, if a guy gets it and he's been exposed to his group of 9 players, they all self-isolate and they all get tested immediately. If a player gets it and he's crossed, he's gone across 2 coaches or whatever. So there's a bunch of different things that go in place. But if a player gets sick, this is where it's going to throw everything into whack because they're going to have to shut the competition down again. That's going to be, 100%, man. There's a bunch of steps in place, which is kind of like 10 levels of what's going to happen before that happens. But you'll have the Aussie government, you'll have, the whingers who don't like rugby league calling for it to be shut down straight away. You'll get another 2-week shutdown. So, because those players who are going to be exposed to it are going to have to self-isolate for 2 weeks, 14 days.
I've got Clint Newton. He's meant to come on Friday, but they're discussing the draw on Friday, so he's going to come in on Monday, Tuesday. So
is that the hot little scoop that you said last? I think it was yesterday. You said I've got a big guest coming up.
I got Pip Edwards today. So
right, cool.
Is what it is, isn't it?
Nudo will be good. No, just relax. Nudo will be good. The draw's going to be a funny one because I'd assume they got to blow it up because it's now 20 weeks. So I think the plan is that you play everyone once and then there's 5 double ups or something like that.
You should double up. You should double up against your rivals, I reckon, just for.
This is a chance for them to do exactly what we've been saying for how long,
Yeah.
Like, if you get double ups, why not do it? But I assume like some of those rivalries, most of the Sydney ones are obviously local, but like teams like Melbourne, their rivalry is probably only the Warriors. You want to avoid travel, so you probably wouldn't double up.
Manly, you could throw them in Manly as well.
Not Manly, yeah, I suppose so, but yeah.
Jackson, with the Aussie government meeting with Arnie Jacinda this week, potentially about opening the borders up, does that make it easier for the Warriors? Does that potentially send them back home and travelling, or you think they'll be based in Tamworth?
Oh no, they're away for 5 months. They're pretty much prepared for that. The biggest part about that is it means that the cousins can come over for my wedding, so that's the big one. But no, it's the Trans-Tasman bubble is something that basically, it was always going to happen. If we were going to open the borders, it was going to be Aussie and New Zealand first.
It's the safest place to do so, given all the statistics.
Makes sense. So I don't know whether they're going to open it up to the island nations as well. Because we kind of haven't heard a lot about what's going on there.
Exactly, Jacinda, racist.
The Aussies in. But it's purely an economical thing. So like, Australia is New Zealand's biggest tourism. It makes up like a third of our tourism is Aussie. So
really?
in Australia, and in Australia it's China, and then New Zealand's number 2. So the weird thing about that, we get talking a bit of economics here. Who knows on the Show and Go? You don't know what you're going to get.
You never know. Don't fall for it.
There's a lot of Aussie politicians and people kind of in the know who are thinking, right, once we open up the Australian borders so you can travel interstate, why would we open up to New Zealand and let our potential domestic tourism money go over there? You know what I'm saying? So they're like, fuck, we may as like the benefit of keeping Aussie versus letting New Zealanders in, because that's what we're saying. We're saying, oh, we'll come to Aussie and spend money. And they go, but not as much as we spend on ourselves. So it's going to be a weird time. As long as it's all sorted by November 28th and the bros can get over for the wedding, that's all we care about, man.
Hamilton tourism about to take off.
Okay. Hamilton on a Friday night, game on a Saturday.
How good. Well, we've probably got time for one more. The Kevin Durant news, or do you want to go with the Lonzo? Which one, Ice? You pick the last topic.
Let's go Lonzo, let's chase headlines.
Yeah, chasing headlines. He said all 3 of the boys could end up at the Lakers. It only just come out before we launched. I sent it through at about 7:50. He looks like he's taking the piss. He's on a podcast as produced as about as quality as this.
He looked like he was taking the piss when he called Lonzo going to the Lakers in the first place, and what happened?
Nah, do you know what? The difference between that and what he's saying now, like, obviously everyone knew sort of he was loud and sort of talking shit, but then, like, some of the stuff started to play out, like Big Baller Brand, bro. They were killing it. They were getting Lambos and sort of stuff like that. And, like, I'll follow them for a long time, and I'll get into the argument me and Corey had later. But, yeah, but like the stuff he was saying, he goes like, Marco Fultz, he's going number 1. Lonzo, he's going number 2. Like, caught it. Like, my son's going to be a Laker. But I caught it. And then it starts to get this little momentum of like, shit, fucking, is he fucking Nostradamus? Or does he know what's going on? And do you know what? It's pure entertainment and it was fun to watch. It's almost like Donald Trump. Like, some of his press conferences are so fucking fun to watch and stuff like that. But yeah, obviously he's at that point now where he's kind of like just holding on as well. He's at that point now where his
kids are big enough.
kids are big enough, they can look after themselves, but he's at that point where he's stopped trying to be an entrepreneur and a businessman and an entertainer and a public personality and just fucking be a dad.
Oh, now he's trying to flex that he's the one who discovered Mello, so let's keep going.
So I rang Corey yesterday and we had an
that's why. My phone... Okay.
Yeah, keep cutting me off, man.
Sorry, go.
So I had a call with Normy yesterday, and I was like, I showed you Mello, and he'll go, no, you fucking didn't. No, you fucking didn't. So I read a magazine about the Ball brothers in the Slam high school one ages ago. Oh, watch these guys. And like, he didn't really catch on to them about 6 months after I told him. And now he's claiming Mello. He goes, as soon as Mello comes out, I'm buying all his cards. If he changes teams, I'm with them. I'm getting the jersey. He's even got the shoes in there. The shoes like $500. And he claims them. So what we've done, we've actually gone back to high school, and we've both picked our next 2 guys that are coming through.
Drop some names.
Mikey?
I'm Mikey Williams. I've gone Mikey Williams.
He's a gun.
And I go, bro, this is the next guy. I'm telling you right now, like, I'm going to screenshot it so you can't do this fucking shit again. Nah, I've got my guy over here. And I don't know who he dropped, some bloke. What's your thoughts?
It's on the record now, so you can show him. Go. Yeah, the Ball boys. I think going to the Lakers is just ridiculous. I mean, Lonzo couldn't be in a better position, so that makes no sense. The Lakers aren't going to get Mello. He's going to be drafted somewhere else, so that's not going to happen. And Jello's clearly not good enough to be in the NBA, so but he's a talking head, like, especially in a time with no sport. I actually am shocked it took this long for one of the media outlets to get Lavar on. Like, I thought he'd be killing this whole lockdown quarantine.
Well, he did TMZ. Period. He's popping up on TMZ all the time.
Yeah, no one watches TMZ. Like, it's I would assume Fox and ESPN. Yeah, I know. I'm talking shit. I know TMZ Sports actually go all right. Same with Yahoo Sports. They both go all right. But, I mean, he does what he is. Like, he's an entertainer. And he does seem to call like a lot of shit he said. Everyone's like, bro, he called his shot. He called faults. He called Lonzo. He misses a lot as well. Like, he calls a lot of shit.
If you put a lot out there,
beat
something's
Michael Jordan one-on-one. Yeah, like, he's. I'd love to see him and MJ go one-on-one now. Like, in the doco with that'd be all time. But like, something's going to stick. If you throw enough shit against the wall, something's going to stick. So
yeah, I did.
I think that's where. Or actually, will ice on the cards. You know how there's those like you'll see like the Zion Duke card from Panini. Yeah. Does that mean we're going to get a Mello Hawks card by Panini?
I don't know.
It's professional, though.
Yeah, it's professional, but
like
then
the prospect series or whatever they call it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but they might have a deal with all the colleges and stuff like that where they get their sort of money back. So,
right.
A lot of people sign deals with them. So, like, say LeBron, for example, he hasn't signed a deal with Panini. He signed a deal off Upper Deck. So, you'll never get a LeBron auto card out of these cards.
Same.
But once he stops finishing playing, like, they're not going to make any more cards. Like you can pull a Scottie Pippen, you can pull a Dennis Rodman out now. That doesn't happen. So once LeBron stops, that's all the cards in circulation that you're going to get.
Isn't that same as Ben Simmons as well?
I'm not. Yeah, probably because he's signed with Clutch Sports, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he'll probably be the same as well. No one wants his cards.
No.
I don't.
Trying to stick up an Aussie. What about those Delhi auto cards? How do those Delhi auto cards go, Ice?
I don't know. You probably be able to get them online pretty easy, I reckon.
Pretty cheap too, I reckon.
Nah, do you know what? A lot of the Aussie sports fans, they start to collect Aussie players. They go hard on them. So.
There'd be a few Paddy Mills ones floating about, I reckon. That'd be pretty sick cards.
Paddy goes all right. He's your favourite player, isn't he, Lou?
He goes all right. Nah, Delhi.
I'll tell you what, I'd be pushing all the chips into the middle of the table for an RJ Hampton Breakers card.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Where would he go in the draft? Was he top 10 or?
Yeah, he's on the mock drafts. He's like 5 or 6. He's quite high up there.
He's bumped a bit higher in the recent ones. He's not making many people's 10.
Yeah, I'm only going off a bit. Yeah, I'm going off. People typically hover him around the 10, and then guards usually climb on draft day. So, I mean, it'd be it'd be sick because if he went to the Thunder, like I know the Thunder are at like 16 or 17. Like if he falls to the Thunder and gets to link up with the big Kiwi Steven Adams, he's got a whole country with him. So
yeah, that's true, isn't it?
Throwing lobs to the big fella,
and then Steven Adams off.
Yeah. His contract's too big. Go fuck him off.
The Athletic did that.
He should go to Golden State, man.
Oh, he'd kill it. I think he's our highest paid sportsman.
He was at the draft, bro.
Was he? Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then the caddy for Tiger Woods was our highest paid for ages, eh?
Yeah, I remember that.
Living the dream. Dan Carter just over there with his $1 million deals, not holding a fucking torch to the guy pushing the trolley. Unreal.
Alrighty, boys, let's wrap it up there. Sorry about the dropouts. I'll edit it all out so you won't even notice. Until
Sweet.
Friday, we have the UFC preview on Friday. How good! Finally, some more live sport. So,
Oh yeah, I'm writing up a little preview for us now actually. So I've got a few
Ooh.
hot tips on there. A little, I don't want to say Jackson Scope specials, but there's actually some real money to be made on this card. So stay tuned for
There
that.
is. All right, catch you, boys.